Hello, I'm Jomika, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program 2. I've been waiting to do a series on this for a long time. I purchased it as soon as you could purchase it, before it was even out. And yeah, the launch didn't go great, I guess. It was planned by the developers, but for me, wasn't really much gameplay. And it was full of bugs, but now that Force Science is out, we can actually play a game. It definitely feels like a game. I've played, I don't know, probably about 8 hours or so on my own. I made it to Duna, did all the little missions and all that stuff, and it's actually a lot of fun for me. I definitely enjoyed Kerbal Space Program 1, and I am starting to enjoy Kerbal Space Program 2. It's a lot of fun. So this campaign name is going to be YouTube. Space agency name, we'll do Jomika. And we'll just keep that all the same. One day I'll put my own logo in there. I don't know if we could even do it now. I bet there's a way, but I'm not going to mess with it. We're not going to do the orientation, difficulty. Was there anything that I wanted to change? Probably not. Definitely no infinite propellant. Is that it? I guess that's all the settings. So yeah, if you're new to the channel and want to see more Kerbal Space Program 2 content from me, be sure to subscribe, hit that like button, all that fun stuff, so you don't miss any episodes from me in the future. I did Kerbal Space Program 1 for, I don't know, a couple different series. I did a lot of modded, and yeah, I really do enjoy this game. So if you guys want to see more, be sure to let me know. What are we doing to start? Let's start by going to mission control. We'll see what missions we have available. The first one is to launch a rocket, achieve at least 10 kilometers, and yeah, we'll track that mission. I think if you just do it, it works. You don't have to worry about selecting it and all that stuff. So yeah, we'll do that. Do we have any signs to start? No signs to start. And the escape button, I think, is really the only way to get around. And it's got save, resume, load, and then all the different facilities you could go to. So we are going to go to the VAB, and we're going to build our first rocket. So we'll just do the tin can. I guess we'll just go with that. We don't need anything crazy. Do we want coupling to start? I know the parachutes are a little more, I don't know if realistic is the right word, but probably realistic. They don't carry as much weight, so they break when things are heavier. I have a feeling it would be fine like that, but we're not going to risk it on our first mission. So let's add one in here. Go like that, and I think we're ready. So 1,000 meters per second of delta V. And I guess we'll just launch. We're not going to worry too much about it. So for the first one, we don't have to do any SAS stuff because they figured out that everybody starts with it on anyways. There is some experiments we can do here, so we'll hold on to that because I guess you get the same amount for that. It's crew observation only, so they're just going to tell people no matter what. And yeah, we'll just hit the space bar, and we're going to do the little countdown sequence, and then we're going to launch the rocket. So we got all these cool graphics here. I'm hoping it changes a little bit in the future. I mean, it's really not a big deal. Rather, they focus on gameplay and stuff. But yeah, that little graphic is the same for every rocket. So I believe we reached where we need to be. Carbon atmosphere, another 4 units of science, and then it would take 36 units of electrical charge to send. And this one over here, which disappeared real quick, was just letting us know that we did the mission, which where was it? Right here. Launch a rocket. We did it. We only need to make it to 10 kilometers, and we are at 20. So I'm going to go ahead and decouple. And we'll just turn the SAS off. And we can time warp until we get down closer to the surface. And then I think when we land, we could get a little bit more science. So we'll just keep going, wait for that to do its thing. And we'll do the parachute before we hit the ground. I think I'll do it around 10. I haven't quite figured it out. I'm guessing if I hit spacebar now, it'll work. But I've broken a lot of parachutes because I'm used to Kerbal Space Program 1, where you can just hit the spacebar, have a whole bunch of stuff attached to it, and it'll still land and not break. It may land too fast and explode on the ground, but I have time to decouple stuff. Whereas this one, it just automatically breaks right away. So I don't want to do it too early and break things. So I'll just try now. Looks like it worked. And fly down to safety. We'll do an EVA, and I think we get more science that way. Haven't quite figured out all of the ways to do science. A lot of it's automatic. It's all through this experiment button. And it's much easier. You don't have to babysit a ton of things like you did in KSP 1. But yeah, we'll wait until we get to the bottom. And I don't remember if there's music or not. I have a feeling there is, but I may have just turned it off. Settings, audio, music level. Yeah, I turned it off. So if you want music, I guess turn on your own in the background. I don't know. Maybe I'll add some in editing. Probably not, though. Yeah, my plan for this series is just to do kind of 20 minutes or so at a time. I'm sure I'll forget and go over, but I'll do at least 20 minutes or pretty close to it. And then as we get further along, I'll do some time lapses of building and that kind of stuff. So we'll see. It may change. Perform experiments to earn new research reports. And I think if I just click this button, it'll do whatever it can. But I don't know if you could swim or anything, so we'll just recover. Vessel, confirm. And then we'll go to the KSC. So we got all of our science submitted there. So we have a little bit of science. Let's go to research and development. We'll definitely do light launchers. We have 12. Cost is 10, so we'll research that. It's really the only thing we can research. And then next we can kind of pick and choose from here which research we want to do. This is the top one here is kind of the main path you want to take. So you could really just go through here, get all those, and then you'll get into research area 2, do all those, and then you could go to 3, and then I think there's a 4. Yeah, there's a little bit in 4, and then they've left room for more stuff to get to maybe 5. I think I remember them saying something about 5, but there's definitely going to be more once we get to the interstellar stuff. So we will go to mission control again, and then we'll submit that one. Auto continue, got you to continue. We're just going to skip that. We got 25 more science there, and now we need to get out of the atmosphere, launch a rocket from Kerbin, and achieve altitude greater than 70 kilometers. So we'll track that. We're going to go to the research and development. There is a little trick you can do if you're good enough. I don't know if I am, but you can, if you get into orbit, you can complete a few missions at one time. Launch your rocket to 70K, circularize so you don't fall back into the atmosphere, go back to mission control, accept the mission you just completed. You'll get the science, and then it'll tell you to achieve orbit or something like that, and then you can get that without launching a second rocket. But I'm gonna assume that we're gonna have to do a second rocket anyways. I'm not gonna do solid rocket booster. Well, maybe I will, just if I do want to try to get to orbit. There's nothing else really, and I can't. We'll just do it. Solid rockets. How much do I have left? I have 12. I could get more science, I guess. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll get more science. Science is always good. VAB, we're just trying to get to 70k. And let's put this here. We don't really need a heat shield. Let's see. We'll go with small. Nice thing about all this is you can just throw a bunch of parts on and see where you're at. So we'll go with swivel, and we are at 2,700 meters per second. And if we pop this out, we can see our thrust to weight ratio is 2.1. And I believe to get into orbit, it's 3,400 if you do it well. Even, I don't know if it's even that well. If you just do it, thrust to weight is 1.75, 1.48. So in theory, that should be able to get to orbit. 1.29, 3,800. Well, we'll try it. I'm not too convinced that we'll be able to do it, but we'll just go for it, and we'll see what happens. So throttle is all the way up. We'll just hit spacebar. I'm gonna skip that countdown, and we're just gonna go for it. So some more stuff here. Oh yeah, we got that experiment unit now, which will get more stuff. I don't know if there was any landed there. There probably was, but we'll get it on another mission. As long as I don't keep forgetting. So I'm just gonna tip over a little bit. Start it here. I don't know where the spot is. I'm still getting a feel for the stuff. I mean, it's pretty close to KSP 1, but it's been a long time since I played vanilla KSP 1. So, yeah. Just watch our ground altitude. We don't have to worry about our speed. We're either gonna make it or we're not gonna make it. We don't want to go too high, but we also don't want to go too shallow in case we don't have enough. We definitely want to hit the 70k. So I'm just gonna hang out here for a little bit. I like that it slowly changes to dark. The graphics are really good. I do enjoy them. I don't really think I have too many complaints about KSP 2 right now. I haven't run into any big bugs. I think maybe one or two where things weren't showing my orbit on the map, but that's easily fixed with just reloading a saved game. Even if it's broken, you save it and then you reload that, it'll kind of fix itself. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty solid game right now. So our apoapsis is at 80. I definitely forgot to watch that. I was watching this, thinking it's that. It's still early in the morning, and I did not sleep too great last night. So, still got my coffee. I'm hanging in there. We're just gonna tilt all the way over. We will hit 120 meters. I don't think we're gonna make it to orbit. We're definitely not gonna make it to orbit because I messed that one up. But we will make it to space, and that's what we were really going for. I don't think there's gonna be any extra science at around 200 kilometers. But return to mission control, submit mission brief. We can get more experiments. We'll go ahead and close that. And I guess if we're quick, we can go to mission control. It's on a crash trajectory. That's okay. We'll submit that. Close that. Thank you for the science. Buoyancy test. Land a pod. We'll probably get that. And orbit. I don't think we're going to get that. Sorry. We are definitely not going to get that. So we'll go back to the tracking center. And not destroy. We will control. So we'll go ahead and decouple. Can I EVA and get some science here? It doesn't show that I can get any more, so we won't worry about that. We won't risk Bill's life like that. Oh, there is some science out here. Research opportunity. Is it if I got out? No. Okay. So maybe there was some science at 250. And we'll just coast down to the dark side of the Earth. And are we going to hit water? Probably not. It's looking like no. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Nope, we don't want that. We're gonna blow up. Alright, well, there goes that science. I guess the science is not a heat shield. Ah, our parachute also deployed. Hopefully that survives. I hear you. Should have got a heat shield, I guess. We're going too fast. Still getting used to the heating, obviously. But we did survive, so that's a plus. Our parachute's still hanging in there. And we're okay. So I guess as long as we have the correct amount of weight, we can launch the parachute at any point. It didn't even burn up in the atmosphere. That's surprising. We'll just go ahead and say that this pod was blocking that. But I feel like in real life, that would just get ripped off immediately. So we are above some mountains. Didn't realize I was not fast forwarding. Parachute deployed. That was a close one, Bill. We almost lost you. Those are some pretty tall mountains. There's the moon over there. Probably some new planets out that direction. I'm excited to see in however long what it actually looks like. The interstellar stuff. Alright, so we'll get out. Go ahead and do that. Let's get off. Let go. And you need to be standing. Yes. You're going to collect a surface sample. I have heard there's a bug with doing the surface sample collection and other things at the same time. So we won't touch anything when Bill is doing surface samples. So we will recover the vessel, confirm, go to the KSC, and I think that's pretty good. We didn't orbit, we didn't get a buoyancy test, but we did get some research. So orbital rocketry. Oh, we have 342 science. I feel like that's a lot, and we shouldn't have that much. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. So what else do we want? I guess what we can do is think about it. We're going to go to the VAB real quick. We're going to do the buoyancy test. And we'll give it some thoughts on what we want to do. Actually, I don't think I need that. I was going to say, just to be safe, let's add one more. And just to be dangerous, this isn't going to burn up this time. We should also check our staging, because we screwed that up last time. That's wrong. That's right. 700 meters per second. Let's go ahead and launch. There is science here, so we'll take that. And then we'll launch. And we'll tip over straight towards the ocean. Easily gonna make it that way. Where's our fuel? Right here? Yeah. Plenty of fuel. Let's go ahead and get that. Go ahead and decouple. Go ahead and face the correct direction. And we'll just go ahead and cruise along. 6,000 meters. We can do our parachute. There we go. Parachute's good. And I guess while we're here, we'll see if Bill can swim. I'm sure he can. The trick is, can we get him back onto the pod without any issues? Slow it down just because. Go ahead and get that experiment. Bill. Let go. Okay, you are floating. And you are doing a surface sample. I guess then it would be a water sample at this point. So we'll let that finish. Close. Board. Exit. Recover. Confirm. So we got 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, we got a lot. KSC. Research Center. 361 plus mission control. We got the buoyancy test. Submit that for another 40. I don't feel like reading, but I heard there's good stuff in there. And the next thing is to orbit Kerbin. So we have 400 science. Lots of things we can spend it on. But I am going to wait and do that for next episode. So that is going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, again, please consider subscribing. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you all in the next episode.